Welcome back to Dirt Grease Outdoor Peace. My name's Matt. This is part 4 of the Goldwing project. This is my shop, and if you haven't seen the other episodes of this Goldwing project, you can go back and look at the other parts and see where I started. And so now we've got the carburetors are in, the gas tank is in, rear wheel, rear fenders back in. So I'm going to get this gas tank closed up. So I've got the fuel sender that the customer cleaned up. I got a new gasket for it. That's another genuine Honda part. So I'm going to put the gasket on here, which it looks like, oh, it's just junk on there. I might wire brush that a little bit. I thought he cleaned it. Maybe not. Looks pretty. Clean this up a little bit. Clean up the top a little bit where the ring locks it into the tank. Clean up these contacts a little bit. I must have dulled my knife a little bit. What goes on there? Looks like there is a tab on the front that goes in the tank. Yeah, there's a little tab right here. Get the lock ring. Looks like it's the same. Looks like that gasket's going to be fun to get started in there. There we go. Man. Started. Put a little bit of oil on there. Help it slide a little bit. I'm gonna try to hit down on it to get it to slide under that tab. I should put some oil in there too. This is that new PB blaster with the adjustable nozzle on it. It works pretty good. There it goes. Now it's up against the stop there. I hit it this way a little bit. There we go. Okay, and I think the wires that I was trying to figure out the other day are for this. So I would imagine green is ground. Wiggle that around a little bit. They look pretty clean though. Yeah, this has a hole in it, and there's a little tab in there that bites on there. Like that. Hold that. Yeah, it's got a little... I'm gonna put a wrap of tape on there. Where this clip is holding that wire, it's kind of chafed that a little bit. Or a couple wraps of tape, I guess. Just try to look everything over real good to prevent any problems down the road and anything for the customer to come back. And then we got, I think we got the cap, and he's got a new gasket for that also. Honda. I think he had it soaking in Marvel Mystery Oil. That's what's down in there. This the spring for the retainer here was kind of rusty, so he was soaking that. And he had he cleaned the inside of the tank, and he had Marvel Mystery Oil in there too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's pretty amazing stuff. I had that Tahoe that I bought for the chassis donor project, and it hadn't run in a long time, and I started it up and the motor was ticking real bad, so I put it in the oil, I put it in the gas, and that smoothed right out. And that stuff is even on stuff I've worked on in the past, that this stuff works really well. It's not really... There is a little tab there. Yeah, it locks in there a little bit. Maybe if he uses it a little bit, that'll free up. Yeah, it already feels better. I certainly don't think it's gonna fall off, so nice to get that done. I guess I can hook up these wires back here and get this laid down in place. These look pretty good. green, yellow, and that must be this one. And this one, yeah, I don't know if somebody had a Scotch lock on there or if it's just chewed up a little bit. I'm gonna get a little piece of heat shrink for that. Ouch. Okay. So this must go over those. There is a... I'm going to put some tape on that too. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from the customer on the brake fluid. The rear caliper doesn't feel too bad, so we'll probably just flush that, and I think we're gonna put .5 in it, the silicone brake fluid. The fronts look like they're stuck pretty good, so I'll probably have to take those calipers apart and just get them freed up and cleaned out, and then just see how hard the O-rings are on the pistons, and hopefully just clean them up, put it back together. But if I have to get a rebuild kit, I can. And same thing on the front, clean out the master cylinder and flush that. And I guess I could hook up this brake line and put this electrical box back together. Well, I got the lift down. I guess I could lube the throttle cables. We're gonna be getting close to firing this thing up. Just gotta try to figure out what else I have to do here. I guess as long as I got the, as long as we're working on the tank here, we can put this strap on that goes across here. I don't know if that is for the, to support the seat, or what that's for. There's chrome covers for here, but I'm not going to put those on yet because when I fire it up, if I have to get to this idle air screw, those covers are going to be in the way, so I'll save those till the end. I'm not going to bother putting the horns on yet because that's just kind of a finishing detail. I just had to make sure that the wires are up out of the way. I don't know if this mounts inside the air cleaner cover. I think it does. I'll have to look. But I think, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and get this box mounted. Yeah, I got to clean up a couple connections right here and get that in place. And I've had the battery here for a while, so I'll get that on the tender. And I think I can go ahead and put the chrome hoop on up here because it's not really going to be in the way, and it's just nice to pick up more parts. This is empty. The air cleaner, engine guards. Here's that bar. This is a cover for the rear master cylinder. I think this is the gasket for the intake. I think that these are bolts that he took out. That's for the airbox cover. This is all I got left for parts. I put the spark plugs in, but I just saved the box for now. Got a bolt in here. I can get rid of this box too. And then I've been throwing all his old parts in this box, so all the bags from the new parts, the old parts, and so that he can go through it. If he wants to save some of that stuff, he can. Otherwise, he'll just throw it away. But yeah, we're narrowed down to at the muffler sitting here. I'm gonna hold off on those until I get that rear brake straightened out. So yeah, we're just making progress. Yeah, like I've been saying in the other videos too. Make sure you guys leave a comment on you know, what you're working on, what you have for a project, whether it's a motorcycle, a car, or, you know, tinkering in the shop, working outside, whatever it is. Today is January 4th, and it is a cold day out there. It's like mid 20s, I think, but the feels like temperature is in the teens. Got a little bit of snow last night. This is the first real taste of cold weather that we've had, and actually the forecast doesn't look too terrible, but deer season's over now, so I'm gonna be focusing on this stuff in here. I wanted to stay dedicated. I wanted to get this done, and then I can focus on my Apache. I'm putting the Apache 58 Chevy Apache body on the Tahoe chassis, so then I can work on that, start making some progress on that. And I still have some stuff I want to do to the 57, but as I might save that for the spring, or I'll work that in maybe during the winter if I'm waiting for some parts for the Apache build. I can maybe tinker with that. I've got the 57 up on the lift, up out of the way, and then I've got the trike underneath there. If I stay in this shop, I'll have to measure. That lift is like right, that post is like right in the middle. If I could get another lift, I guess I would have to maybe offset it back a little bit so the posts would clear there. But man, it would be nice to have another lift to so that I could store the car, put stuff underneath it, and then still have a still have a lift to work on. So that's something, you know, maybe I could consider down the road. So we'll get this electrical box figured out, and we'll get back to work. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for tagging along here, and I appreciate it, everybody. Thanks. So I cleaned up these connections here. I just reached in this connector and just kind of scraped the connector off. Don't look too bad. So I'm gonna put a little dielectric grease on these. That must be the starter solenoid. I want to make sure that that one is. Sounds a little crunchy in there. Okay, get these bolts out of here. I gotta remember to bolt my brake line up. Wiggle that together a little bit. Make sure we got good contact. And make sure we're not pinching anything here. Well, it's got rubber isolators on the bottom. Yeah, they didn't really do a whole lot to protect those wires right there. Get that out of the way for now. Leave that loose until I get the bottom one started. There was a black painted plug in those parts over there, and I didn't see it until right after I shut the camera, or maybe it was when I was showing you guys the parts that I had left. And it had yellow electrical tape on one side and black tape on the other side. So I pulled the tape off, and it was something that he had cleaned up and painted. So right away I'm thinking, oh my god, I hope this isn't some kind of coolant plug or something that goes on that radiator, and I have to take that back apart. And so I didn't know where it went, and so I thought, oh my god, I hope it's not on the bottom of the gas tank where I can't get to it. I wonder if it's the oil drain plug. I looked all over the place on this bike, and then I started looking through the book. So I actually just took a break over there, started flipping through the book, looking around. They show a picture of the gas tank, all the stuff that goes in it, the tubes that are inside it for the pickup, and it doesn't show you that there's a drain plug on the other side of the gas tank in the book. So I just start looking around, and I'm expecting it to be on the very bottom. So underneath the masking tape on the other side, I could see it's kind of it's a little bit steeper angle than that. But the way that he masked it and painted it, and the paint is thick. This must be some kind of epoxy paint. This fuel petcock flange here was the same way. It was like it was camouflaged. You couldn't see it. I put that masking tape on there, and I didn't know it was there. Well, luckily I could get to it, and oh my god, that was driving me nuts. I didn't want to I couldn't just ignore it. I had to figure out where it went, and so I got it put in over there, and so that was nice to figure that out. Okay, so we got the power and ground here. Those are, I wire brush those a little bit. This is done. We got the brake line hooked up. I'm gonna put this strap back on here just for now. I got the battery on he bought a new battery. I got that on a tender over there. Today's Thursday, so hopefully this weekend I can get some gas in it. I'm gonna lube those cables first, but hopefully I can get this thing fired up. That would be nice. Okay, so that's done. I think as long as it's up in the air, I might as well pull this cover here and look at the points. It's maybe 5 millimeters. Something. I gotta look in the book and figure out what the spec is for that too. Be interesting to see what this looks like. This bike sat for I don't know how long. Must have been at least 10 years. I can fix that. Gasket screwed up. It doesn't look too bad. At least it's not corroded. Yeah, I'll just get my little file, clean those up a little bit. I should have a little emery board over here, but I don't. I'll just put this little, it's just a little tiny flat file. It's real thin. They're actually in good shape. Get my big fat hand out of the way. And this one won't open far enough. It's hitting that screw. I'm just gonna get a little piece of sandpaper. Just redo this one. There you go. And then, what my dad taught me. This is the final clean here. You're supposed to use 100, but I'm fresh out. No, I'm just kidding. This is just the right consistency to get in there and clean that out. If I can, yeah, tear a hole in it. Nice. You just put the corner in there. Oh, that one's tight. There we go. That was just something they used to do back in the day because everything had points, and everything had points, and people always had $1 in their pocket, so you just stick that in there. You could actually use it to kind of buff the points out a little bit. Look in the book and see what the gap is supposed to be. And still even got a little lube on the cam there. And yeah, make sure they're in, see if they're in spec. Well, that's the peak of the cam. It's supposed to be 12 to 16 thousandths. It kind of shoves that open a little bit. Let me check the other one. Might have to open that up just a little bit. It's pretty darn close though. The light is terrible. Yeah, that one's tight too. Yeah, it's shoving the points open, so I'm trying to figure out which screw man. Yeah. No, you guys probably can't see that. Let me just snug that a little bit and see. It did move. I'd like to get like 14 in there. See what that feels like. I can see the gap, and it's just don't want to go too big. Yeah, it's pushing it open. Yeah, I like that. If it'll stay there. Yeah, that looks good. Knock that one down. Now we'll roll it over and get the cam on the other one. A little bit more. That looks pretty good. Oops. Okay, takes care of that. I think I'll put just a little dab of silicone there in the corner. Although it has a little drain there, so I guess I'm not gonna do anything with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it back together. It's not like it has to hold oil, and it's got a drain, a little weeper slot in the bottom there. Well, what's next? Lower it down and loop the cables, I guess. I feel bad about having such long, dragged out videos, but it's something that it takes a while, especially when I'm not familiar with this bike, and it's everything I do I have to look in the book and double check everything. And I took it apart. A lot of it I took apart a year ago, some of it I took apart early last year, so it's just taken a while to get everything back together. So I appreciate everybody's patience on this project. We are looking to wrap this thing up soon, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the Apache build with the Tahoe chassis donor. If you guys are interested in this build, you can please go back and check out the first few videos on it and see where I started from. And if you guys are interested in that Apache Tahoe chassis donor, you can go back and check that out if you want. And appreciate everybody clicking on the video and watching, and come along with me as I try to figure this thing out and get this thing running. What we're going to do is, before I try to start it, these throttle cables were pretty sticky on this thing, so I'm going to take this apart and lube the throttle cables. I'll probably just try to get it running and get that part over with, and then go after the clutch cable, the brakes. It looks like the front calipers are pretty stuck, so I'm probably going to have to take those apart and free them up, possibly even order some seals for that. But we have some other work that we can do on this before we get to that point. So yeah, let's get started. So I did loosen these up already. I backed off the adjuster here. I backed off the one that's above the carburetors here. I believe that's for the return or the idle cable. Oh, my hand's right in the way. I really don't. It's backed off all the way. I guess I gotta go a little more. I'm just gonna, yeah, this is sticky in here too. I'm just gonna put this back together with this now. And then you guys probably didn't even see me get that apart. But I just pulled the cables off of here. This is sticky underneath here. I'm just gonna put that back together with this now. I think he's capable of putting his grips on. I wanna get this thing back together and get it out of here. Looks like I need a 14, unless this will come apart here. Oh, Jesus. My God. I still probably can't see. Pull this idle cable out. And of course, it's got such a weird shape on there, I can't get my cable lube around there. And it doesn't come apart there. I have it's just a cheap cable luber. It goes right on the Harley ones, but this end is too big for that, I think. Maybe I can use it. Well, I can try it. I don't know how well that's gonna work. Get a rag. This is actual cable lube, Cable Life. I bought this at Harley. When I worked at Harley, we never used this. We just used like a penetrating type oil from Zep company, and then we would follow it with just a little bit of their, it's almost like a lithium grease, but it's a thin spray grease. We would follow it with just a little bit of that. But this stuff is I've been using this at home. It works pretty good. So it's got a place for the nozzle right here. And cover up the ends with the rag, and it's actually going in there pretty good. And what you want to see is you want to see it go all the way through and come out on the bottom, which sometimes takes a while, so you don't want to overdo it. Nope, I hear it. Yeah, we're good. So now, oh, it's so, It works so smooth right now. Oh, this is the idle. Yeah. Yeah, that works really nice. So, put that one back in. Come on. See if I can wrap this with a rag and get this pull cable side. I think I'm just gonna tap that nut a little bit. Oh my God. Give her a little heat. Well, it would probably help if you went the right way, dumbass. Whatever. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. My mind is fried. Is that one actually? What the heck? That's threaded in there? Oops. Pull out my brake switch here. That one's actually threaded in there. Wasn't that handy? Probably not how you're supposed to do it, but it works. Oh, that cable is not in very good shape. Damn. I wonder if I can put a little drop of solder on there. Well, hopefully that holds that wire. It was just one strand that came off, so I just let's see. I wound that strand back in place, and then I just put a little bit of solder right there. I was careful not to get it too hot to melt that, but I'll just tell him, you know, he's gonna need a throttle cable. But at least I can get it running. See if this works again. Just barely. See it coming out here? It's forcing its way through there. That's good. As it sets, that stuff will just work its way down. Let gravity do its job on that. Now if we can get that back in. Snug on those. Now, get the goo off of this. Oh yeah. Nice. make sure it's got, sorry, make sure it's got play in it and it's not bound up that way. Wipe the oil off of the outside. And then can adjust our, well, actually, let me get these going the right way. There we go. So now, I'm gonna back this one out. Make sure we get, I can hear the throttle stop wide open. So now we can adjust the return cable, and you want to leave a little bit of slack in there for when you're turning. As it heats up, it's going to change. You want to have some slack in there. So go back down. I'm gonna back that out and keep checking my free play up here. Almost. You don't want too much free play because then the cables can come off of the spool. I think I'll leave it right there. Tighten this up. Make sure that the adjuster is staying in place. So, oh no, actually we gotta go the other way. This doesn't move. This moves, and that threaded piece. So we want the nut up against this the adjuster piece here to lock that out. Put some lube on that. Ooh, it's getting warm in here now. I made a little adjustment on my wood stove. Holy cow. Yeah, it's up to 58 in here now. This is a good sized shop. I'm not even gonna let you watch me struggle with that little piece of junk. That I had to heat that up to get it off. But this is a 30 by 50 garage, and it takes a little time to heat up because, you know, it's a lot of space with these. I think it's a 12 or 13 foot ceiling. I have a ceiling fan down there. Once I get this Goldwing done, I want to move that down in the middle. Eventually maybe get a bigger fan or a better, like a shop fan. Okay, so I'll show you what I did to the stove. This is like a wood fired, it would be it's made for somewhere that would have these oh my god, this is made so that you can duct these. You could put pipes on here and duct them to different areas, which is nice, but I don't use it like that in here. So it had this plenum around it, and it's got blowers in the bottom that blow through the plenum. But with this whole thing blocked off, this thing gets really hot, and you can turn the blowers on and it blows. Yeah, wow, that is hot. Oh my God, can't even put my hand there. So it blows the air out of here. Well, those blowers are kind of obnoxious after a while, and they use, you know, more electricity than a regular fan. So, well, I was talking to my dad the one time about how I could get more heat, you know, over across here to where I'm working. So I was talking about hooking into where these holes are and coming up and then having an elbow and blowing the heat over there. So he has a new DS stove in his shop, and his had the similar kind of thing on it, but you could take the side panels off of it. So he took the side panel off towards where he worked, and it's really nice. I mean, you could walk up to it and really feel the heat off of it. But the top of his stove is just a thick steel plate that doesn't have a plenum on it. So this morning I cut half of this plenum off, and you cannot believe the heat coming off of that thing now. And I've got the damper choked down to hold the heat in the stove, and then I put a fan up here in the corner, and that made a huge difference. It was, I think it got down, must have got down to around 20 last night. And with a little wind blowing, you know, it felt like it was in the low teens. And it said it was 38 in here this morning. And I got I was just finishing up the last part of this video, and I used my phone and I turned the heater on. I just turned it up to 44. You know, just gradually start getting a little heat in here with the Reznor. So I came over and got the stove started, and then I bumped this up to 50. But man, that stove is really cranking right now. That's awesome. Especially when it's gonna get a lot colder than this. So I don't know if you can see that little bit of slack in there. That's what you want. So because if you turn the handlebars to the right, that's gonna tighten up, and you don't want that to bind or, you know, raise the RPMs, raise the idle up on you, or just plain raise the RPMs on you. So I'll try to get this tight little bugger back over that, and keep going. I'm gonna cheat on this clutch cable and pull this pin. That adjuster is way down underneath, and I really don't want to take that apart. So sneak this out of here, and that'll give me a chance to, this is all sticky and nasty too, so I can lube all that up. Hopefully the light on the other side isn't blinding you. Get started in there. This is something you should do about every 5,000 miles. Get the best life out of your cables. Have everything work nice and smooth. Try to reach in there. Wipe that gunk out of there. There it is. Yeah, it's just crusted up old lube on there. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. You want a little free play on there so that that's not riding on the clutch all the time. Let's lock that down. Looks good. Feels a lot better. And that lube will just keep working its way down through there as it sits. I put the battery in it. I just slipped the mufflers on. They're not tight. They're just sitting there. I got this in reserve. There should be enough gas in it where it will draw from the on position, but just put it in reserve for now. And I just set this cover on there so I could plug in the regulator and all that. And we'll give it a shot. I don't know if this has, I don't remember if this has accelerator pumps or not. I don't remember. I don't think it does. Yeah, I'm thinking it popped because I dribbled a little fuel in the intake. I can see the filter there. I don't think it has any gas in it. I think what I'm going to do is take this off. And fill this line with fuel to prime the pump. Sacrifice my clamp there. There's a little bit there. I think it's trying to, but that, who knows how long this thing sat, and that pump is dry, I'm sure. Yeah, I still can't see that there's fuel in that filter. It's not clear, it's just translucent. I'm gonna try to, I think I'm just gonna put a zip tie on there for right now. Get that pretty tight with a zip tie. So, checking, make sure that thing is getting a mount. You guys see how well that zip tie works? That hose is tight, you know. I don't know if it's going past the pump and into the carburetors like that. I guess I could crack one of those could try to crack one of these. It keeps filling up and then bleeding down. When it's full, then it bleeds down. There we go. First time I've ever heard it run. Now, I didn't run it too long. Because I don't have any coolant in it. I think it just takes a long time to get fuel into that pump, and then the pump to fill all 4 of those carburetors. So I'm gonna put some coolant in it and fire it up and run it a little bit longer, and then I'll get the oil draining on it. It needs an oil change real bad. And then if I, ouch. That's great. That freaking antique turn signal flasher in there. I see the front brake light switch doesn't work. The rear one works. The front one, oh, don't. I got the freaking, but it still should work right here. You should be able to short these 2 together. Should be able to short these 2 together. Yeah, and it works. Because one is power and one is ground. I'll put you back here. Wow, that's awesome. I can't believe that thing is running now. So here is that's the rear. And then the front didn't work, but I think it just probably needs cleaned up. Maybe the switch is bad. But I just took the 2 wires off when I'm using a paper clip and touched one to the other. And we got brake lights. So it's maybe that switch is just a little corroded in there once I get the brakes flushed out. Oh, the horns aren't up, though. How about high no beam? Yep, high no beam works. That's awesome. Okay, we'll get some coolant in it, and then we'll fire it up again. That's awesome. Okay, I got coolant in it. And fire it up again, let it run a little bit. I just realized there's a voltmeter right here, and the gas gauge. Let me see where. Okay, that's these wires here. I did hook those up. Oh. See any. Don't see any signs of life there. You got backlight. Oh. I can't tell. That was nice, that breather blowing right up in my nose. No, more a little bit. send the guy a video. Check that with my voltmeter. It's saying over 12 there. I just want to it's 13 volts right there. Go around and tweak the air fuel screws on it a little bit and just see if it smooths out. but it runs. Whew, I gotta open the door. Pretty smoke. Yeah, I'm gonna check the plug first, and then I might play with that setting. And make sure that that one's sparking. I'm just gonna crank it over a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, so apparently that carburetor just isn't very happy for some reason. Appreciate you clicking on the video. I appreciate you watching. Give me a like if you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay.
In case I didn't do an intro.
I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me.
Welcome back to Dirt Crease Outdoor Peace. My name's Matt, and we are continuing on the Honda movie mini-series. I've been trying to figure out what to call it. And just a little, yeah, just a little bit works, but just spray a lot in it. Yeah, that'd be smart.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.